this is Mike Steyer from YouTube. I have another little handy tip for you for those who are really struggling with some flesh paint or fleshtone. So these are all the Walmart brand, the apple barrels that are now 55 cents. 55, they raised the price on me, man. So I have a little jar of epoxy. This is the skin tone that I used before, which goes to these guys. Yeah, obviously I've got a Rocky, and then you probably can't see this guy over here. But so I have a little container to put it in, and I have this with me. I'll clean this up before I put it on the lid, but I have this here so I can remind myself, and it looks better. The tone's a little different on this. So I can remind myself what I want it to look like. So the first thing I did is I poured a whole 55 cents worth of Sunkissed Peach into this. And then the three other colors you're going to need are a yellow, an orange of some sorts, and then a red of some sorts. So the only thing that I really do is it's just color match, and you don't ever want to put too much in at a time, but since I'm doing a whole lot, and I always make more than I need to, because, well, I'm going to use it at some point, is I kind of put an equal amount. I don't really measure it out. This is all guy measurements. And that's it, is guy measurements. So there we go. Put a little mustard in there, a little bit of ketchup, and yeah, there you go. So I have a big kind of universal brush just to put in there and mix it all around. It's going to take some time to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'll pause this, and I'll show you how it looks, and I'll add some more. Okay, so I actually did what you saw with the red and the orange. I did it 2 more times with about the same amount that I had in there. And then I did one more little part of yellow. And so here's what I came up with. Again, the color on the camera is just not great, but looks a little orangey, and it's not so much. So that's the skin tone that I ended up with. I used the extra stuff that I had on my brush there and ended up doing that. And I like that. It's pretty light. But, you know, comparative to flesh color, it's not so bad. This one's pretty good too, but I've been using that color for a while, so I think I might stick with this kind. But you just, from this point, it's really what you prefer. You may want to add some brown to give it a little more depth on it, because you can see there's a little bit of a difference there. And that will help you out. But to get to this point, it's really these 4. And then you just kind of flavor it to how you ever want to do it. And if you use a brown, I would just use like a straight brown or chocolate brown, and that would actually darken it up a little bit more and probably get it closer to this tone, which again I think is that, if I'm correct. But you know, again, it looks pretty good. Once it dries, I'll also determine it too and put a second coat on. But there you go. There's your flesh tone for what I spent about $2.50, and you got this big thing to go with. So there you go. Good little point to start. So hopefully that helps you fellas out. All right. So I wasn't satisfied with the original peach, the original flesh color that I had. So what I actually did is I took some melted chocolate and I put a little bit in there, about the same as I put in with the other colors of these ones. And I mixed it up so it's a better brown. You have to hold on for a second because I just put the lid off. Okay, so note that it's a little bit of a darker color, so I did add it to a couple of the figures. So now you can see it's clearly a better flesh tone. I felt it was a little bit too orange, so that brown really brought that more flesh color out. So there you go. I really think that definitely helps. So again, your colors are red apple, jack-o'-lantern, plain old yellow, melted chocolate, and then the base is going to be a sun-kissed peach, if I can say that. So there you go. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for under $3, there's how much you can get. Probably more, but that's what I put in there. And I always make sure to shake it up too when I'm done with it, and even when I start it up, because it does kind of separate a little bit. You can see a little bit of the brown together, but there you go. So hopefully that helps you guys out in figuring out your flesh tones.